Hey everyone, happy Monday. I'm happy to say I'm officially finished with my master's. If any of you guys didn't know, I was in a master's program. You can see there's some decorations up because it was all virtual. But yeah, so done. But let's hop into the passage because that's not really. So today we're in Matthew chapter 4, verse 5 to 7. Uh, so it's when Jesus is in the wilderness being tested by the devil. So verse 5. Then the devil took him to the holy city and set him on the pinnacle of the temple and said to him, If you are the Son of God, throw yourself down, for it is written, He will command His angels concerning you, and on their hands they will bear you up, that you strike your foot against a stone. Bear you up, lest you strike your foot against a stone. Jesus said to him, Again, it is written, You shall not put the Lord your God to the test. So, testing God. What does it mean to test God? There's several examples throughout the Bible. Like in a general sense, testing God is literally testing God. You do something and you are expecting Him to act on that you've done. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad. There's the case of Israel putting their tithes into the storehouse and trusting that God will be true to His promise and multiply that. Or when this is maybe more of a deeper dig into it, but like when people were prophesied to, uh, God encouraged them to test that word. I think that might be similar to when Paul talks about testing all the different spirits to know that they're good. Because something like an angel can come to you with a word contrary to God, and you have to be able to know that that's not from God. But so, like in the case of Gideon, uh, he was told that he's going to do all these things, and he had that basically doormat where he's like, okay, I think I believe you, but could you, in the next morning, make the floor wet and the doormat dry, and then vice versa, just to prove it? Uh, which I think is kind of a weird thing, but I don't know. Who am I to say? It worked for him, and he did a lot of good things. Or even Ahaz in the book of Isaiah. He was rebuked, actually, because he told God he didn't want to sign. He told the angel of the Lord that he didn't want to sign. Uh, so there is a kind of encouragement of like, test me to know that my word is true. Test me to know that what I'm telling you is good and for you. Uh, but like the passage you read with Jesus in the wilderness, there are the bad times. The devil was trying to make Jesus force God's hand in saving him before his time, trying to force God to move for an unneeded or selfish reason. So, I mean, how often do we find ourselves testing God? And in what ways are we testing God? Uh, are we testing God with our gifts, with our time? When we give all that we have to God, are we testing that He's going to return that to us in some form? That's one of the good ones. Are we giving Him ultimatums through our life? I remember I know when I was a kid, I was like, God, if you can do this, or if you can help me get this, then I'll be the best person. I'll be praying all the time, all these different things. Are we putting ourselves before others? Are we putting someone in danger to make God move on our behalf? This is more. It's okay. I'm gonna mutter to myself. Uh, if we think of those snake bite churches, I'm not sure what those were called, but uh, like there's talk in the New Testament of the saints saying like, like poison can come against us, all these different things, but God will protect us through that. And I believe the context of the New Testament section is because people were attacking them, people were coming at them. They were being heavily persecuted in the early church time. So that, like those things, those works against the church, God would stand against. But then I don't think there were any more like the snake thing I was talking about, where they would kind of take that literally and like have a church ceremony where they're like letting themselves get bitten by snakes to prove that they can't die from it, which is fully out of context with what that example is in the Bible. But just an example if they're putting themselves in danger unnecessarily, and it's not really proving anything, it's just testing God. But so, I know that none of us are, I hope none of us are willingly letting ourselves get bitten by snakes or ingesting poison and stuff. But, that's the extreme side. But I encourage all of us to pray over it this week. Do our actions show the light of Jesus? What's the purpose of a test return? Is our heart unselfish in its pleas to God? In what ways are we testing God?